Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy and this is Happiness Created. Today's video is very different. As many of you know, I recently went on a cruise and I wanted to share my experience with my YouTube family. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we landed in Puerto Rico in San Juan, and it's gorgeous in San Juan. I don't know if you've been there or not, but yeah. So our flight arrived a little over 1:30 a.m. So we had some waiting around to do because we couldn't get on the ship until it was supposed to be 3. We were lucky enough to be able to get on around 11:30-ish. This is us just standing around waiting to get on the ship. That was a different ship. I believe that was a Norwegian or a Carnival ship. This is our ship. It was the Adventure of the Sea with Royal Caribbean. Now, we've been on multiple cruise lines. This was our second time on Royal. We had a fantastic time, but we probably won't be going on Royal again anytime soon. It's just a little different than what we like. Things closed way too early on Royal. So here are just a few pictures from the parking lot while, again, we were waiting to get on the ship. Now we're on the ship so it was a Norwegian. The other ship that I was recording is leaving before us, so they are passing by us right now, and there's a lot of cheering and clapping going on both ships. It was a bon voyage for now because we did see this ship in several of the ports that we ended up going to. So I'm going to let you enjoy just a few seconds of the sights and sounds of the Bon Voyage Norwegian epic ship. So as you could hear, there were lots of cheering and whistling going on, and I apologize. Maybe I should have mentioned that beforehand, but anyhow, yeah. So I'm just going to speed up the rest of this so we can get on with the rest of the video. So this is actually at 2 times the speed, and so that tells you how slow they go getting out of port anyway. So this is San Juan at night before we took off. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love San Juan. We ended up going through Old San Juan later on our way back, and it's just a beautiful place to be. So I didn't get too much of us leaving Puerto Rico, the port, but here we are in St. Thomas. Now, when you get off the ship, there are iguanas everywhere in the rocks. It's amazing. And this is my oldest son posing his pose with the iguanas. And these are just a few pictures from, or actually, I guess just one picture from St. Thomas. And we took a ferry over to St. John's because we have never been there before. And it's truly a beautiful, beautiful island. It's a little less commercialized than St. Thomas. And the beaches, I mean, I don't think you can find a bad beach in the Caribbean, but these beaches were just a step above, I guess. So this is us on the ferry, and this is the beach that we went to. And I believe it was Trunk Bay that we went to. And it was, like I said, absolutely gorgeous. So now we're back getting ready to board the ship. There's some more iguanas. And here we are taking off from St. Thomas, the end of day 1. Until next time, St. Thomas. Now we're off to the island of Antigua, and it is beautiful. This is the second time we've been to this island. It was the 5th time we went to St. Thomas. But anyway, this picture right here, if you could zoom in, that's Eric Clapton's house. How cool is that? Like, truly. Anyway, we didn't meet him, but it was cool to see his house anyway. And that was a little shop. And then pineapples. Who knew they grew up from the ground? I always thought they grew down like coconuts, but you know, that's just me. So this is Valley Church Beach that we went to. It was so beautiful, and there were so many shells all over the place. It was amazing. So I did not get video of us leaving the port. I wasn't up on deck at the time, so I did get some still photos for you. And now we're off to St. Kitts. And St. Kitts is probably one of our favorite islands. And this is Brimstone Fortress. If you ever go to St. Kitts, you have to go to Brimstone Fortress. Now, I will tell you, it's quite the hike to get up there. You got to walk up a pretty good size hill to get to the top. But those islands out there are St. Maarten and St. Bart's. And how cool is that? So this fort was my son Ethan's cup of tea. Like, this is the one thing he wanted to do while he was on the cruise, was to go to this fortress. So, of course, we did. And when we were in one of the gift shops coming back into port, before boarding the ship, we did a little bit of shopping. He's like his mom and loves to shop. He's a die-hard Green Bay Packers fan. And he spotted this guy, his name is AJ Hawk, right out of nowhere, and came back over to me and was like, "Mom, that's a Green Bay Packer." Like, really? So we had to go over so I could get a picture of him with AJ Hawk, and I thought that was really, really cool. And no, he wasn't on our ship. So now we're off to Barbados, which is by far my favorite island. And this house right here is where Rihanna grew up. And this is her house now. So anyhow, Barbados is my favorite because I love the beaches. Now, my youngest son, Justin, as you can see, he's wrapped up here. He got a really, really bad burn on his shoulders, blistered and everything. So we weren't able to go to the beach on this particular day, but we did do a tour, and we had a bunch of fun just touring around the island and seeing the different sites, which was okay because this is our sixth time on Barbados, and we've never toured. We've always just gone to Browns Beach, which, by the way, has the best rum punch if you're into that kind of thing. So, anyhow, we got to see these cliffs, and there were caves that we should have been able to go in, but because the waters were so rough, they had closed the caves. But we were able to stay on top. I got some beautiful video and some beautiful pictures with me and my boys. And yeah, so I'm going to let you listen to the water for a little bit. Oh, here's me posing in all my glory. And then here's me with my boys, my life right there. So this is just so beautiful. I can't even begin to describe it. So I'm going to shut up so that you can listen to this for a minute. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I could listen to the waves crashing all day, every day, all night, every night for the rest of my life. I truly could. It is definitely my happy place. And here are some pictures of my gorgeous boys. I know I'm a little biased, but hey, I have every right to be. So now we are in St. Lucia. Now, St. Lucia has the most beautiful landscaping of any island I've ever been to. And again, we've been to this island 6 times. It's amazing. The last time we were here, we saw people actually washing their clothes in that river, and those are the pitons. You have to go see those. They're the highest points on the island. And here's me with my beautiful boys again. And now we are at the Sulphur Springs. Now that water is super warm. It's very much like a warm bath. But there's one part, there's a little pipe coming out, and man, that water is hot. And here you can see this is actually a volcano that collapsed, and you're able to drive right up to it. And that is very, very hot stuff. As you can see, all the boiling and the bubbling. Now, this was a very smelly place to be. I don't know if you've ever smelled sulfur, but it's not very pleasant. It smells kind of like a rotten egg. But anyway, it was pretty amazing. It is not the first time I've seen this, but it is the first time that my boys have seen it. So it was pretty cool just to see their faces throughout this whole tour that we took. Yeah, so again, here's some more bubbling, and then we're posing for our pictures, and we always have to have the boys take their pictures like that. I don't know why, but my oldest son requires it of his little brother. So anyhow, and then we stopped at a waterfall. Now this we did back in 2016, our last cruise, which was my celebratory cruise when I beat cancer for the first time. And we found this place and ended up going under the waterfall, and I wanted to do it again. So I did. And it's not comfortable, I have to tell you, with the water falling from that height. It's not very comfortable on your skin, but it's so refreshing. It feels so good. So now my oldest is going under. My youngest is a little leery because he has the blisters on his shoulders. So he's much more cautious and does not want to go under the waterfall at all. So we did manage to get him a little wet, but we were not going to pressure him to go under the waterfalls because we didn't want him to get hurt. So anyhow, that was that waterfall, and I will get the name of the waterfall and post it. And then here's my kids posing, and we're back on the ship now. And we're leaving St. Lucia. That always makes me sad because I love it. Now, St. Lucia has poisonous snakes, and people actually walk around with machetes and with missing limbs, which is really sad, but they do. That's what they do. This is the only sunset I was able to catch, and I did not want to miss a second of it. In fact, I was being called away, but I wasn't moving. So, but yeah, so St. Lucia's beautiful, but they have lots of poisonous things there. St. Kitts, nothing. No poison snakes, no spiders, no nothing. It's a really great place to live if you're afraid of snakes, like myself. I wouldn't want to live in St. Lucia, but I certainly think it's absolutely gorgeous. So goodbye to St. Lucia and hello to St. Maarten. Now, St. Maarten is actually half Dutch and half French. It's a beautiful island. And of course, when you go to St. Maarten, you have to go to Maho Beach. That is a beach at the end of an airport runway. So the planes fly right over you, and it is very, very cool. Now, this is the one place that my youngest son, Justin, really wanted to go to. And it was a very cloudy day, and you're not able to move your seats down as far, down the beach as you typically would. I was trying to get him to reach for the plane. Not that it was that close, but I mean, it was pretty close. But anyway, you used to be able to bring your beach chairs all the way down the beach so that you could be like right in front of the runway. But somebody was killed back in, I believe, 2018. And after that, they stopped allowing people to be seated in that spot. And people used to stand on the other side of the road, and they would hold on to the fence while the jets would stay at the edge of the runway almost doing like a brake stand, if you know what that is. So here is a plane getting ready to take off. They no longer do, like open up their engines but not take off right away. Now they just open them up and take right off. So I'm going to let you listen to that. And with that, we are back on the ship and heading back to San Juan. Unfortunately. Not unfortunate that we're going to San Juan. Unfortunate that our cruise is just about done. It's always bittersweet because you are so worn out from all of the running around and you want to get home, but at the same time, you don't want to go home because, home is just home, but these places are like paradise, especially in my situation where I live up in the Northeast where it's cold this time of year. And we ended up having a foot of snow like just a few days ago. So that wasn't fun. But anyways, no snow down here in the Caribbean. So anyway, I missed my dogs. So it was nice to be back home, I guess. But again, it's always very sad when you have to leave that paradise to come back to snow. I like white sand, not white snow. And now we're back in San Juan. So we went to our hotel right away and we changed into our Hawaiian shirts. I made my boys get Hawaiian shirts so we could take a picture together. But this is me and my boys. So my oldest and I decided that we were going to take off and go explore Old San Juan. Everyone else was tired, just wanted to chill in the hotel pool. So that's what they did. So this is one of the forts on Puerto Rico, and it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. And, that was used to protect their island for many, many years. So I did get a little bit of the scenery, but we walked like crazy in Old San Juan. I thought my son was trying to kill me, quite honestly. I hope you enjoyed this video and a glimpse into the Caribbean from our eyes. Here we are flying home. Oh, so sad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a great big thumbs up for me. It really helps me out. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll consider sticking around and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a brand new video. I thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me, and I will see you next time.